Do you guys ever get into like a big brawl as brothers?
Bro, are you kidding?
Yeah, we did a couple times. Times.
You guys, I'm sure, were no Alec and Daniel. My brother Daniel was a football player. Daniel was 6'1", 275. We grew up just four dumb jocks that were competitive.
Okay.
And then Billy started modeling for Calvin Klein, and Alec was working as an actor, and the rest of us were like, how much did he get paid?
Nice. That's good. Yeah.
So my father was like,
what? I know.
Hey, boys, what a great idea.
Boys, you could all do this, right?
Boys, absolutely.
Boys. Yeah.
Welcome.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the
Friday.
Brotherly Love Podcast.
Brotherly
We are
Love
in
Podcast.
studio.
We are so stoked. We
Yeah,
have a
very
very
happy.
special guest.
Yes, we do.
Stephen Baldwin, ladies
Yo,
and gentlemen.
legendary.
Stevie.
Man, we have been
Legendary.
talking about your family
Yeah, for years.
Forever.
Literally for years.
Ever since we started, because we looked up to you guys. I mean,
we
you
did.
guys, when it comes to the entertainment industry, you guys were like the pinnacle of brothers, working in the industry as actors. I mean, you guys were it. So we always looked up to you guys.
Yeah,
Always.
and also like guys that like made it, like guys that
Yeah.
individually made it.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like Alec, kind of, was like he's the oldest, right?
Right.
So he sort of like paved the way, and then but you guys each folding into your own niches and seeing what happened, and you guys are all individually like really talented dudes.
Thank you.
And that's also rare. There's
Hard-
always
Yeah.
one
so
that's
it's
Yes.
hard to carve your own niche.
It is.
Yeah.
And there's always one that kind of like, is seemed to be the more talented one, but that's not the case. You guys are just all really good, and that's really cool.
See, here's a difference already in the dynasties, right?
Yeah.
So which one of you guys can remember a gig you went on, and when you got on a gig, somebody was working on it that had worked with one of your brothers?
Oh.
Right?
Every
Everything.
single
Every-
gig I've ever been on.
Yeah, dude.
They either
Yes.
know one of my brothers or my mother.
Yes.
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 Every single one.
Yes.
Yes.
Every single one.
Now the difference is the Lawrence brothers don't have the reputation of the So when I went on a set and I was like, hey, Stevie's here. Hollywood.
Yeah,
I was like, they were like, 3 weeks later, I was in a 3-banger, small little star trip, I didn't get my per diem on time.
Yep.
Come to find out that line producer worked with so-and-so.
Yeah,
And
sure.
That was a horrible experience.
Right, yeah.
Hated your brother for the last 10 years. Now, that hasn't been the case in quite some time, but
Yeah. I get it.
believe you me, Daniel Baldwin and Alec Baldwin, Billy's very sweet.
Yeah.
But those two, definitely paved the way for some challenges.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm sure.
I
tell
tried to
me-
set a good tone. I tried to set a good tone. We
That's
all
what
make
I'm looking
mistakes.
for. That's what I'm looking
We all try to set
Yeah,
a good
in
tone.
our
We
in
make
our own
mistakes,
I
but,
think for us, because we're individually different, and it's not that one would have had a bad approach on a set, but we have different approaches on
Yeah.
sets. So when you work with somebody who's like, oh my gosh, I worked with your brother, it was not necessarily that it was ever bad, but it was like, okay, well, my approach to working is much different. So it might throw you off, or it might throw them off, because I would say Joe and I are the most polar opposites, and Andy's kind of the middle one in a sense, in that
The
way.
coolest is the youngest. Usually is.
Let it come to you, bro.
Exactly. Just sit back. Couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more.
I think Joe, one of Joe's, one of the largest scars left on Hollywood was Joe introducing Gary Sinise to lip gloss.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's
lip
true.
gloss.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I did, Joe.
It's true.
If you notice, Gary Sinise wears a lot of lip gloss.
No, dude, it's called balm. First,
Whatever,
of all.
dude.
It's not gloss.
It's gloss, and
It's lip balm.
It's very moist, Joe.
Keeps
It's
your
very
lips
mo-
moist.
very-
I
man.
worked with
Very
Gary,
moist.
who's fantastic.
Yeah,
but I'm
he's
there
more
going,
fantastic now.
Well,
after I
listen
worked
to me.
with him.
Listen.
This is weird.
Yeah.
No, just because my daughter sells lip gloss.
Really? Oh, that's right.
And I've been
That's
to
right.
Iraq with Gary Sinise.
Oh,
weird is that?
So full
Interesting.
circle.
6 degrees,
There we go.
baby.
Okay,
Right
6
back
degrees.
around.
Notice.
Baby.
Did you
I
notice?
got to get a care package from Haley
Yeah.
sent to Gary Sinise.
Hey, you know
There you
what?
go, you
And,
should.
and this guy, 'cause
And
he's
me.
he's a big lip gloss person.
I actually did that. I did that. That rap battle that she used to host. Remember that?
wow.
Remember that
Yeah,
show?
with
I
Method
did that.
Man, yeah.
Huh? Yeah, with Method Man. Yeah,
Really?
I lost to Dave. Yeah, I did it. I met her. Yeah, I met her. She was super
But
sweet.
did you rap?
I did.
What?
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
But she was super, super nice. Super nice. Super nice.
Sure.
Yes, very nice.
Right
So,
on.
and that's one time that I met Other than that, I know
I've
that
never met.
Do you have 2 daughters?
he has 2.
2 daughters.
Joe has 3 daughters.
I have 3 daughters.
You have 3 daughters.
3 daughters.
Yeah.
All not married yet.
Charlie,
No.
no, Charlie, Libby, and Dylan. I have 18, 14, and almost 2.
You're on the precipice, son.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
on the
I
precipice.
know. It's great, man.
Yeah.
Girls are awesome.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's just so different because Andy and I, there's an age gap of like almost 12 years, right? So, there's a lot of like I had a good sort of bird's eye view of like what watching boys grow up, and sort of being like an uncle and a brother at the same time, to Andy. Matt and I were more traditional siblings, but
Yeah.
And boy, growing up all boys, we were all boys in our family. My mom was the only girl. And it's the complete opposite in my family. I've never been more outnumbered in my whole adult life, but it's been that way my whole adult life, literally my whole adult life. And it's great. It's challenging at times, but I love my girls so much. And, each one has been a tremendous blessing for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just I'll be praying for you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I gotta pray for you.
Thank you.
3 weddings, bro.
I know, man.
That's 3 weddings.
I know, dude.
Heavy stuff,
I know.
You have to sit there, and
Yeah.
I'd rehearse now, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
I-
Start
no,
rehearsing, Joe.
No, but I made this joke. I was gonna. I had a whole thing ready for anybody that was gonna ask me to marry my kids. you know?
Okay.
I had like a 2-minute trailer of everyone I ever
Cut from
punched
Usual
or
Suspects.
stabbed
Why
or
that movie?
shot.
Yeah.
No, it's just every violent
great.
clip of me in 100 films.
Oh, that's so great.
hilarious.
And
That's
it's just,
actually brilliant.
Yeah, that's
well,
really
it's just
funny.
a montage of me.
It's awesome. It's
You know,
fantastic.
and you sit Johnny down. You know, you
Yeah.
just you let him watch the trailer,
Oh, yeah.
and you just say, "Have her home by 10."
Yeah. It's great. I had a line that I've actually used. I haven't actually said it to one of their boyfriends yet because, whatever.
It's a strange
but-
line.
Yeah, it's a strange. No, it's a funny
It's
line.
a weird line.
very
I don't know
embarrassing
why he
line.
likes
What?
this so much.
It's a funny. I don't. It's not
He's a
real.
quirky
I'm not actually
dude
gonna
over
say
here.
it, but I'm a quirky guy. I'm like,
Yeah.
no. I'm like,
Well,
listen,
you got to say the
I'm
line,
like, listen,
Joe.
Johnny. Since we're talking about Johnny, I said, Johnny, listen, I want you to have have fun with Charlie tonight, and please be respectful. Have her home by her curfew, and just remember, anything you do with my daughter tonight, you're gonna be doing with me when you bring her home. Okay, that's it. How about that?
Joe, actually, that is a really bad quote.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
Is it
that's-
bad?
Oh my gosh,
That's a really
oh
strange.
my gosh.
Oh God, this guy. It's a joke, clearly, but this guy. Look at him. He takes everything literal. Matt's the literal one. That's such a terrible thing to say. It's a joke. You
Just
know? Or we could do the Bad Boys thing. I can just grab the brothers. We can wait at the door and then do like the Bad Boys 2 thing. You remember that great scene when he brought the daughter, the daughter brought the boyfriend
that
over,
was
and he had
great.
that fabulous.
Oh, and then the boyfriend ended up coming back in the latest installment, and
He was amazing.
He was like a badass.
was
Yeah,
amazing.
that was
Great.
he was my favorite role. You're right, Ann, in that
Way
movie.
to-
Who else has kids?
None of us.
I have
Just you.
Just him.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys,
Taking it slow.
you got a long way to go.
Long way
Yeah.
to go.
That's
Yeah.
nice, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I started like
Yeah.
29, which wasn't crazy young, but it was, I guess, young for today's standards. But yeah,
I started at 25,
did you? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
25.
but I'm still married to the same girl.
Yeah,
That's
that's
amazing.
Dude, that is
amazing.
so
Yeah,
awesome.
That's amazing,
congratulations
Steven.
on that.
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
way.
that is something.
That is huge.
35 years.
Wow.
Next year.
Dude.
Wow.
35.
Dude.
That's awesome, man.
That's
well,
awesome,
in
man.
Hollywood, it's pretty.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
that's-
is.
well,
That's a
it's
huge accomplishment.
I just think in
bizarre.
life. Well,
In life,
yeah,
life
life
is a
is
huge accomplishment.
beautiful.
That's
Yeah, I
Mhm.
I respect that.
That's
a lot.
awesome. That
Very
is
cool.
awesome, man.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
I know.
You know,
I know.
here's the grandkids.
You're-
I was just sharing with you. I'm a little mellow this morning. I was up at 7:30 with my granddaughter Iris.
Hmm.
She was giving me my marching orders,
Wow.
and
That's
my
so cool.
second grandchild, Jack Blues, with Justin and Haley.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's so cool.
He has just arrived, and
Yeah.
he's cute as a button.
That's
That is
amazing.
so
man.
crazy.
That's
Wow, man.
amazing.
Yeah. So walk in my shoes for a second. I'm a grandfather at 58,
Wow.
and I'm the youngest.
Wow.
What I call I'm the youngest surviving Baldwin brother. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Still here.
You know, man, I
my
feel like this
gosh.
industry is a game of survival.
Right?
It
It
is
is,
Survivor.
yeah.
I mean,
It
that's
is.
what it is. It's as you know, I mean, you know, people see it from afar and you know, I mean, I don't really it's fine, but I don't think people understand that it's the challenges are so real, you know,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
the ups
gosh.
and downs are, I think, more massive than pretty much many other industries for sure. Because the highs are when things are going
The highest. They're the
are
best.
so amazing.
Yeah.
And when it's low,
It's
it's
pretty
about
low.
as bad as it gets. You know,
Well,
and people
because
don't.
you're taking your wins and your failures on a world stage.
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Period.
No.
So the wins, you have the whole world winning with you, and then when you fail, you have the whole world looking at you fail. That's a big deal.
You're
That's not
also
easy
your
to
own
take.
product, so
Your own
you are
exactly.
selling you.
true.
So that's a weird thing because when you work at a company or if you're doing something, it's a product that you've developed or you're working for someone and selling something or something. But your product is you. So those wins and
So when people don't
those
buy
wins
it,
and failures, those wins and losses are predicated on specifically you. So it's weird.
Here's what's kind of weird now about content and distribution and making money, and it seems like survival now is sustainability.
yeah,
It
100%.
Check it
It
out though.
is.
You guys are still here.
Yeah,
You're having fun.
yeah.
No, but what a blessing.
It is a blessing.
That is a blessing.
You all carved a niche, whatever. And
Yeah.
now you're doing this, And everybody I talk to about your show is pretty jazzed. It's not.
cool,
It's
man.
really no, but it's
It's good to hear.
James and I were talking about it on the way over here, and your vibe is still, it's just light and it's fun, but it's smart and it's
For
cool and it's just a place people can go chill and become part of your community.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. That's the parallel here for me is my new podcast, which is
Right.
I could be making movies, I could be doing a TV show, I'm doing One Bad Movie because I'm monetizing it.
100%.
It's a piece of content and it's entertainment that's so different.
Mm-hmm.
People are really enjoying it,
Yeah,
and I'm having fun.
it's great.
There you
I'm
go.
ha- but I'm
It
having
seems
fun.
like you're having
That's
fun.
great,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
really
it's
having fun.
Totally.
That's the
awesome.
key.
That's
for sure.
really smart. That's really cool.
And I'll tell you what, man, it's really
We
moved
can't wait
in.
to come on it, by the way.
I know.
Oh, you
I
better.
know.
Yeah,
I know.
we
We're,
can't wait.
we're
What's
doing
up?
it. We're
We're
doing
coming.
it.
One Bad Movie.
Dude, I can't
Low
wait.
I can't wait.
bros.
That sounds like
bros.
We
Love
got a few.
baby.
We got a few.
Oh,
we got a
yeah,
few
we got
movies
plenty.
to chit chat
Oh,
about.
I've made
We can-
arguably a couple of the worst films ever made.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all been
Now,
there.
here's the crazy thing. I had nothing to do with it. You walk in there and I feel horrible
Well,
because
this is an
you
interesting.
try to do your best job and
Yeah.
you look at this thing and everyone's like, I'm like, and so many times, I don't know whether you made the speech, but you come in there and, you're working with people that have not done a lot and you're like, hey, listen, we're going to make a good movie, right? And everyone's going to be on the same page. And make a movie. You're like, oh, absolutely.
That's Joe on day
And I'm
one.
like,
it is.
We're going
absolutely.
to get out there and win one for the Kippa.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Joe, right?
Absolutely.
Completely
no question about
delusional.
it. I said, great. So we're going to be, and we're not going to sell out. We're going to really, really take our time. You got a vision. You got your whole thing perfect. And then you're there watching the first cut and you're like, this is the worst film I've ever seen.
Yeah, right.
Well, and it can be on all levels. It's not just doing bad movies that are like low budget. You could do a movie with a big budget. I mean,
No, it's just,
and
those are even
sometimes
worse.
they turn out even worse.
Those
And-
feel even worse when you do a big
Oh.
one and you're
Oh.
like,
it's
no.
it happens.
you said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, but you said, in the first cut. Wow, if you made it to the first cut before you knew it, God bless you.
That's
I
true.
know.
My
That's
I
brother
true.
know.
Alec
I know.
would tell a similar story about bad movie experiences, but he would say, oh yeah, man, they call you, it's an indie, they got a pretty decent budget. They're like, oh yeah, we're taking a private yacht to the U.S. Virgin Islands. That's what this experience is going to be like.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, day one comes, the town car comes. They bring you to like a ferry.
Yeah.
You get on a ferry, it pulls out of the port,
Oh.
right? It starts heading towards Staten Island. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
So you turn to the producer, you're like, I'm sorry, I was told that we were going to be on a yacht going to the Virgin Islands. He goes, we had to rewrite, Mr. Baldwin.
Yeah.
You're on a ferry now going to Staten Island.
Good news
Here
is, though, we
go.
cut production
Action!
day down from 21 to 7. Wait,
Oh,
what?
I know
7
that's-
days? How are we going to make this movie in 7 days? We're going to do it. We're just truncating everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
I won't
perfect.
say names
Yeah.
about producers,
Oh.
but there was a guy named Eli Samaha who's going to love that I just effing said his name.
Oh, that's so
I
funny.
was on a set once,
gosh.
and I worked with him.
I remember.
Remember Ely?
I remember.
Oh, yeah,
He was
I remember the name.
He was amazing.
Yeah, he
was
was.
amazing.
Yeah.
He was just a go-getter. And
He
said,
was.
No, but he was a pioneer.
He was.
on the indie front.
He was. No doubt about it.
I made a couple movies with him. I made a movie with Chaz Palminteri with him and his wife. And,
so cool.
So much fun, little indie stuff.
Yeah.
But he hired some director one time, and this guy just was,
Yeah.
just knew he was.
Yeah.
He didn't. He thought he knew that he was going to do it his way.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
literally, we were on the set and we had 45 minutes to go to lunch.
Yeah. Oh,
And
God.
Eli
I'm ready. I'm ready for
walks up on a break. The director's sitting with his whole script, And Ely just walks up and goes, he just starts flipping through the guy's script. And the guy's like looking at him. He's never done it before.
Oh my
And he
God.
turns around and he just goes,
Oh my God.
and he just doesn't tear him. Crumples them.
Oh my
and goes,
gosh. That is so
Cut.
brilliant.
3 pages.
Cut.
And he goes, I won't say what he said, but he goes, I told you, mother effer,
Yeah.
not to play with me.
Oh my
said-
goodness.
You had 4 more pages to shoot in the next 40 minutes.
Wow.
Now you only have 1.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
I love you, Ely.
That's
I learned a
brilliant.
lot from you.
That is
Wow.
brilliant. That is brilliant.
But no,
Mhm.
but
Wow.
that's a bad movie, certainly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one
Work
bad
out.
movie for that director.
There you go, yeah.
We don't need him. We're going to find a way to make
But
it.
have you ever had something like where a producer kind of just cut dialogue? And,
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
No, you come in there and you're like,
yeah.
we're trimming the scenes, and I'm like, wait a minute, you trim what scenes? And they mention scenes. I go, there was major story stuff. How do you? Well, we're gonna add it to other. You're like, oh God, this
It's like
is
the story Mike Binder told, remember? I worked on a picture called Crossing the Bridge, and I was late coming on my trailer to go to the set, like 15 minutes. So I come out of my trailer, they were knocking the set. I said, I'll be right out, whatever. God only knows what I was doing. But, yeah. But, it was a long time ago. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
run down to the set, and Mike was my friend. He was a very sweet guy.
Mhm.
And I get down to the set. He's like, "No, we're good." I go, "No." Like what's up? What what's my my blocking position? He's like, "No. I gave all your stuff to the other guy."
Oh my God.
In that 50 minutes, he gave because they knew my lines.
Oh.
So he just went, "You say this line, you say this," and just cut me out of this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
You imagine?
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I was never late again
Oh my gosh.
It's a good
on
lesson.
that set. Oh
Wow,
man,
lesson.
you nailed me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nailed me.
Great lesson.
Wow.
Great
dude.
lesson.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is.
Mike
Really is.
Binder.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yep.
And
That
you do
would
learn
be-
those lessons. I think you
Oh,
learn it
yeah.
on the fly sometimes.
I've
know,
learned
and-
them.
Yeah, there are humbling
Forged by
experiences.
fire.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. There are
yeah.
humbling experiences,
Most
know,
definitely.
and
You ever gotten fired that you could talk about?
I've never gotten fired, no. But I walked off of a movie once. I had to leave a movie once. It was just not safe, but it was not safe.
I thought my
No, it was not. It
My
was,
well-being
that
was
must
in
be a gnarly
jeopardy.
story. You
It
had to
was-
call your lawyer
it
and
was
your
just,
agent.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't
it
they
was not
cut your
safe.
head off or something? And
They ended up.
rewrote
I
it?
was the hero in the film, but they ended up just killing me in the movie, destroying my
Wow.
head by decapitation. So they
Perfect.
weren't happy.
Wow.
But
Well, then they
but
just
it was a very
use
unsafe.
use
You
a
had it
body
coming
double.
to you.
It was
Yeah,
a very
coming
unsafe
to-
set. So
It's actually smart.
I hung in there actually for like 13 days. I was like, this is a
Wow.
disaster. I mean, it was a disaster.
I've wanted to walk off, but I've finished.
No, I never did it. But that one was so bad,
finished them all.
and it wasn't even a movie. Like they, I mean, they turned it into something, and they had. They
But
were
I
able
did
to
have
place it
one.
somewhere,
I
but
did
it
have one
was
audition
terrible.
that was. I'll never forget it because I finished, and the casting director, who I think was a pretty big casting director, I don't remember her name, but she turned to me and she was like, "You need to give this up."
Oh God!
God.
And here's the best part: I was 12.
Oh my God!
You need to give this up
Wow.
right now. And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah." That was bad.
Wow.
That was really bad.
Well-
You're not even an actor. And like kicked me out of the room. And I was like, oh, well,
You got to remember that name.
I
That's-
I know. Isn't that wild?
Let's
To a
call her.
12-year-old
Let's
kid.
call her.
Brutal.
I had a casting director once who had their like dog with them in the room.
Oh, yeah. That's always great.
And I was trying to do. It was a very serious scene. There was a lot of dialogue,
Yeah.
and the dog was eating.
Yeah.
And it was, and I was like, literally in the middle of the scene. So
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
and she kept feeding him.
Yeah.
And I finally said something. I was like, "Hey, yeah." I was like, "Hey, listen, I can't focus because this
course
dog
you
is is."
Joey did his Brando, dude. He had his Brando moment. He
is
said, "Hey,
Brando.
listen, lady, the dog. I'm emotional.
I can't
Right.
help it. I can't have the dog eating while I'm talking about it.
The dog is slobbering,
Yeah, I-
It
slobbering."
was, and it was sitting right at my feet. Like it was very uncomfortable. And I
Do you know
thought
who that is, James? Do you remember what casting director had a dog?
massive dog, like a mastiff, like a big dog.
Oh, big
yes.
dog.
No, that sounds
Joe's not
familiar,
a. See,
but
I would have
don't-
loved it. Joe's
Me
not a
too.
dog.
No, no, I like dogs.
He's
I was just
not
trying
really,
to focus.
He's
You know, I
not
was
really
trying
a
to
dog.
focus,
Let's
you
just
know?
be real. He's
I was
not
trying to
really a
focus.
dog.
No, I like dogs.
I'm not saying you don't like him. You're just not a dog person.
I wouldn't have a dog. Look, I like dogs. I don't want them like sleeping in
I
my
don't know,
bed.
Joe. It sure seems like you don't like dogs.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I know. They always
You
force me
couldn't
into
get
this
through the
defending-
audition.
I
Yeah.
couldn't. So but the funny thing was, I was like, hey, is there a way to, like, can it not chew? Just because I mean, it's very tough. I'm trying to deliver these, and it's breathing and it's chewing and you know these things. And she was like, I swear to God, she was like, yeah, no.
Right.
So I was like,
You didn't get the part, did you?
no, nope, didn't get that one.
Don't talk about the dog, bro.
Didn't get that one. I know, but it was really loud. I thought she was just feeding it to like keep it quiet.
I would have said
When she
something
reached into
to-
the
yeah,
when she
yeah,
reached into the jar and like fed it in the
I
middle.
might have said something.
Yeah, it was really wild. So that was a pretty weird experience, but pretty disrespectful.
I had an
But,
audition once where I had to play like I was on drugs, coming off drugs, like a withdrawal type of thing. And I was so nervous, and I somehow went in there and like I nailed it. Like I nailed this audition. I used the nerves. I harnessed it to kind of create that
Use the
withdrawal
nerves.
thing. And after the audition, I'm waiting outside, and the casting director comes down. She sits me down. She called my agent. She thought I was on drugs. They thought I was a real
So
drug.
you methoded, like,
Yeah,
actually
they were-
did some drugs.
Yeah, they were like, "This is a fantastic audition, but we can't hire him. He's on drugs."
He's on drugs.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get
Oh,
it. Yeah.
I heard a story once that to play a certain emotional reaction in a close-up, Sean Penn like had a close-up going like this, and he was at a certain line. He had someone put a cigarette out on his leg.
What?
Yeah, so it burned his leg with a cigarette.
Yeah.
So years later, after hearing that story, I figured I might as well give it a try.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh
I
my
mean, if it
god!
works for Sean Penn, you know what I mean? I admired the heck out of the guy, right?
Doing the cigarette
So I
leg
had
trick.
somebody like an assistant, like with a burning cigarette, just like not put it out on me. That would seem a little excessive.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be.
I have to stomp it out on my
that burning
calf. You
flesh?
know what I mean? Just, but just kind of just poke me with it a little bit. The burning cherry.
Yeah.
Just poke me with it. I want to see what happens to my face. I swear to you, dude. I'm like in the scene, and I'm like, you know, like, yes, Ethel, I too. I was like,
Oh my god!
it just totally.
That's great.
The director and the
good
director
stuff.
sitting there going, "Can we stop with the cigarettes?
Oh my god!
Please, I knew this was going to happen. And I'm looking at, and we're rolling. It's in front of the whole set's there.
Oh my God.
No. But to my defense, I'm sitting there saying to the, no, it'll work. It's that thing where you're really
God.
believing it's the thespian. You
Oh
know.
my god!
course.
We edit around the scream. We edit
Sorry,
around.
yeah,
the
I was
scream.
too
We just
loud. I
edit
was
because the
too
look
loud.
right before the scream.
God.
That's
I'm
your
sorry.
money right
I'm
there.
sorry.
That's
Gosh,
the one
that
you
is
I'm
want.
so
sorry. I was too loud. I can be loud.
That is
sometimes.
so good.
Oh,
That is
Unbelievable.
so
What a great story.
good.
Totally true story.
Wow.
Oh, it's great.
Stop with the
If it works for Sean Penn, it
Yeah.
works for me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Cheers.
Oh, that is so good.
By the way, I gotta say, I used to seeing this Coke bottle brings me back to my childhood because I used to collect anything Coca-Cola. I had all the glass bottles,
There you
all
go,
the
bud.
different kinds. Hey, thanks, man. I will
cherish
keep
that
this.
forever.
Right?
Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I still have like some really select pieces of Coca-Cola.
We had a
paraphernalia.
Coca-Cola birthday
Yeah.
for you.
That's right.
A whole themed Coca-Cola
That's right.
birthday party. Old school with
Old
those
school.
glass
That's awesome.
bottles.
Oh, yeah.
And we had, it was
Yeah.
all
Whole thing.
Coca. We had jukeboxes and everything.
nuts.
My mom and dad and we all threw him a big
Oh,
Coca-Cola
gosh.
birthday. Was that your 12th?
I think it
Something
was.
like that.
13.
So you have 3 children.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Okay,
Three
you're
girls.
married.
I'm not, but I have 3 children.
Oh, wonderful.
I do. Yes. Well, I wish. Why are
So
you
you're
guys
single.
laughing?
You're single.
Why are you guys laughing?
No, that's God bless you. You're single.
Well, yeah. I mean, not. It's
On
not
one
by
bad
design.
movie, I'm going to ask them why they're laughing. Don't worry about it. When you
Yeah.
come to my podcast,
Yeah,
they're going
ask
to
them why they're laughing. I don't know why they're laughing. It's not fun.
because they're silly.
Yeah, they're
And you're
just-
the oldest.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we do, us younger brothers.
Yes, yes. So yes, it was not by design, unfortunately, but that's where I am.
And now, and he's got a gal.
Yeah, I've got a
He
girl.
does.
Yep.
He does.
He's got a gal.
He does actually.
Yeah.
He does. He's actually got.
You have a
they
gal.
both have
I
really,
do,
really,
yeah.
really great
I
ladies
do.
in their life.
How
so
long
I'm
you
very
been
happy
with your
for 'em.
gal?
Coming up on 7.5 months.
Woo.
8 months.
Randy,
ish,
that's-
which is good. It's good for me.
Yeah.
And she's
There you
really
go.
nice.
She's
and-
wonderful.
and they get along great. And that's great.
She's listening right now, and he's going for Andy. That's
No, no, for Andy,
Yeah.
that's
I took
great.
a vow
You
of
know
being
why? You know
single
why? Because
for
like
years.
honestly, like it's really neat to see him.
Oh boy.
You know, like I said, for some reason I was like always like the hopeless romantic. So I always like envision myself. I dread about being married and having kids. That's what I thought about. But But for Andy and Matt, you know, they kind of went the other way, which is totally fine. And to see Andy sort of in this, like, I think it's like a really mature, well-balanced, amazing relationship. And it's really cool to see him in that because he was always like the baby brother. And he was always, you know, he would take a
She
stab.
older than you?
No. He would take a stab at like relationships and stuff, but you know, never really succeeded. This one is really
And how's he
cool.
doing?
He's doing great too. You know,
He's got a nice gal.
got a very
Mine
nice
too.
gal.
Very
Very nice gal. I'm
special.
happy
Yeah.
for both those guys. Yeah.
So I'm leaving you alone about your gal.
I really wish you would.
I'm leaving him alone
I
until
wouldn't.
we get to one bad movie.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm reserving it for one bad movie.
No
Okay.
problem.
But I'm just going to say this.
Yes.
Okay.
I got to preach just for a minute.
I love it. I love it.
I know your girl from way back
Okay.
then.
Okay. Gotcha.
I've been married forever.
Got it.
So in the arc of all that, for me to be a Christian and for her to be a Christian was just
Right.
small world.
Got it.
Got it.
Now, what you don't know is
Mm.
when a gal like Chili,
Mm-hmm.
right,
Mm-hmm.
got Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
it's not an accident.
Yeah.
Right. No.
So when you got a gal like Chili that got Jesus and it's not an accident,
Yeah.
that's a special Chili.
Oh,
Yeah.
very, very
So-
special. Yeah. No, I know.
Bro, listen to me. Surrender now.
I love
Surrender now, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because it's anointed.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
I
going to get into it. I'm not going
I get it.
I'm not going to bother you. I'm just
Yeah.
going to say when somebody, I mean, listen.
Yeah.
Crazy, sexy, cool, right?
Yeah.
So when somebody's that cool,
Yeah.
but then they're cool enough to do what she's doing and you're doing and the way
Yeah.
it's, bro, listen, it's not for now. That's what you don't know. That's what I can tell you now. I'm married
right.
35 years next year.
Got it.
It's not for now, the wisdom.
Right.
Yeah, it comes later.
Got it.
Just recognize
Yeah.
special.
100%. Yeah.
Because the devil's going to come.
No, I know. I know.
He doesn't like that.
I know he doesn't.
Right.
No, I know.
I'm shutting up now.
No.
No, I really,
that's
No,
I
honestly,
really
faith,
appreciate
faith,
it.
is, faith has played a huge part in all of our lives. You know.
And look, total transparency. I went through a divorce that really changed me. That's when I started to go, okay, I got to stop living for myself. I can't do it without faith.
Yeah.
You can't. I
No, you
reached that
can't.
wall
You
in my
can't.
life.
You can't do it.
At what was it? I guess 41, 2. Reached that wall where we had ministers in our family. My mom had always instilled in us, faith in God, but it never really clicked, honestly, until I reached that wall for myself. And
Right.
that's when things really changed.
Well, it's God's timing.
Well, it is. It's not. You're on the perfect journey. It just doesn't feel perfect to you because it's not. You don't know the timing, but you have to trust that the timing is the timing and it's right. And all the things, all the ups and downs is all part of it. And you have to embrace those. And it's tough to do. You have to recenter yourself. I find myself recentering myself all the time. Veering away from the fear part, putting your trust in the faith part.
Right.
That's a constant readjustment for me every single day. As fallible creatures as we are, you make mistakes and have to continue to
Every
readjust.
day.
Every day, man.
That's
Every
why
day.
we need
Every
faith
day.
every day.
Every day.
It's so
That's
true.
why I need it every
His
day.
mercy is made new every morning.
That's it.
So
That's
true.
so true. And you got to just.
Well, that's why
keep
it's important to
readjusting.
know the Bible
Yep.
Yeah.
as best you can.
Yep.
I don't read it all the time. I listen to it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I start my day with it.
It's awesome.
Because just I'm a dummy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
I'm going to mess it up.
Oh yeah, you're dumb. All right. That's all right.
My wife.
Okay.
My wife will tell you.
All right. All right. All right.
But-
a few tools short
But
of set.
I
Okay.
just say all that because, being a person, being able to communicate that you believe in something now is creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, the church is creepy.
Yeah.
To me, and I've been going to church my whole life.
Yeah.
I go to a Calvary Chapel church right now that I found with my wife that we like. But it's very small and it's not like the big mega church thing, and it's
no, I
not like
can't
the
do
mega pastor, and it's not like
No, I can't do that. I can't
well,
do that.
but that's what I'm saying is the culture of Christianity now is just so many people are monetizing it.
Yep.
You know,
I know.
and in my opinion, using that, the whole culture of it, more so for the lifestyle of the profit of it, which you're allowed to do. The Bible, listen, if you want to communicate the Bible to people and that blesses you financially, that's cool. I think it's a little creepy how some people do it.
I
But
couldn't
that's
agree
just
more.
my opinion.
No,
That's just
I'm
it.
with you on that.
Yeah. So now, starting with one bad movie, I'm just starting to generate stuff that'll just throw out the resources to create stuff for myself, faith-based stuff that's going to be
Cool.
I'll be talking to your girl later because I got a couple
Yeah.
projects in development for
Cool, man.
the next 2 years that are music stuff that are going to be cool,
Great.
That's really cool.
that are faith-based.
Great.
man.
We talk about that every day about how, when we want to move into making product in that space as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
it becomes a part of, if you feel like it's a part of your responsibility to do those things, when, not to mention just with what it's done for me, anything that has helped me in my life, I want to try to put that out there for other people. And that becomes your purpose. It's not about you. So,
Right. And the weird thing for me is if you've worked in the mainstream of secular Hollywood,
yeah.
your girl has, she was at the time of the height of her career, she was working with the best of the best
course.
on those music videos, things like,
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
best.
Oh,
The
yeah.
best. Yeah.
So she's used to that.
Yeah.
So if you go and work in the Christian market now, it's not that.
Mm-mm.
It's
You're
not
correct.
the best. Even though the success rate has, it's
I
coming.
know.
There's enough money and success out there already. Mark Burnett's one of the few
Oh, yeah.
guys that's making
Oh, yeah.
quality content. But,
Yes.
but I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to be nice.
Yeah.
I'm just stoked that now with my experience and what I know about the gospel,
Yeah.
I can tell certain stories that are going to be cool.
Exactly.
Like I'm doing a Patsy Cline thing that I'm developing right now.
Love
Cool.
it, man.
Cool.
It's going to be about Jesus, but it's going to be about Patsy Cline.
That's
awesome.
great. I
That's
love
awesome.
that. That's exactly the way I want to do it. I want to make good. I want to make good product with it.
I feel like
really,
it's-
really good
I feel
product.
like inspirational and aspirational doesn't have to be so head on. I appreciate the God's not dead thing. I do.
Sure.
But to your point, it is so specific and so pinpointed to where, yes, but you're almost preaching to the people that are already there, you know? And I feel like it's our job, and I love to hear that sort of an idea, because to me, now you're going outside and you're widening that tent.
Exactly.
To bring people in.
That's
it's
exactly
not,
right.
It's not, because it's easy to just make the films for the people
Yeah,
that are already there. The
market it
believers are
for-
going to
yeah.
show up. But it's how do we really spread that message inspirationally and aspirationally to those people that are trying to figure it out, that are still on their path, that are still in that journey. And then you give them an inspirational movie like this that isn't so spot on, but it
And
engulfs
done-
them.
and done
It engulfs
well,
them and
like
they
you
don't
said,
know
and
why.
done well.
You know,
Yeah.
and then they find out why and they go, oh my gosh, that's why. And that realization is their growth. And that's cool.
The concept is the Jerry Maguire concept. Right?
Yeah.
Sick.
Jerry Maguire is just a great movie.
It's
Right.
a great
It's
movie.
a great,
It's a great
story.
movie.
Great
It is.
story.
It's one of the
Oh
best,
my
yeah.
gosh.
The model's Jerry Maguire.
Yeah,
If I can
amazing.
just do stuff that's
Ugh,
Dude,
like Jerry Maguire,
I love that. That's one of my
Dude.
favorite movies.
It is
They don't
one of my
make
favorite movies
literally
they
ever.
don't make
Yeah.
movies like
They
this
do not make
anymore.
movies
No.
like that anymore.
No.
Why?
I know.
What happened to good stories? When did that become?
One of Tom's famous quotes that I love is that he said they asked him, and he tells this advice to everybody, and this story has been repeated too. But they said, to have a career like Tom Cruise, you must just choose really great parts. And he said, no, I actually don't choose great parts. He says, I choose great movies and I try to be good in them.
right?
And that's
really
really
cool.
Yeah,
that's the key. And to in my opinion, Tom Cruise has had arguably, I think, the single greatest career of any actor ever, like male, female, anybody. I don't know somebody who has been able to sustain with such a high level of filmmaking for 40 plus years. He's never really had a lull.
Well, even the lull, the movies are great.
That's what I mean.
Movies
Like,
are
even when Hollywood
phenomenal.
deems it a lull,
Yeah, I
Well,
know.
it's a beloved movie.
You
I mean,
just
it's
asked
not
a good question. You just said like, why aren't they making Jerry Maguire anymore?
Yeah.
And what happens is, the marketing part of it,
Yep.
just it's unavoidable for money people to say, hey, what are you going to do with my money? And then they go, oh, we're going to target this audience, right?
Yep.
So once
And we
you
have
say
this IP to do it. We have this book or this title that's
Well, yeah,
already
but
been invested in. Or
the
something.
wild thing was like John Hughes made these really cool
Oh
movies,
my! We talk
right?
about it all the time.
Yeah. So
All the time.
so a really interesting after that little movie, this big movie that just came out with Andrew McCarthy, Bratz, that series that just
Yes.
came out. I
Yeah,
went to
he
the
went out
premiere
and-
of it. It was amazing. And in that thing, somebody made this observation that John Hughes was the first guy that started making movies about young people, where in the storyline, those young people and their perspective on morality was trusted.
Interesting.
Their perspective on sociological issues. There were 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old people talking.
Right.
But what they had to say was like, heavy
Yeah.
and for everyone.
For everyone.
It's true.
But no one had put it in that box. So I just think
Really smart.
now what we're seeing is kind of a resurgence of not the young, cool stories anymore that are the Jerry Maguire stories.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of other stories being told by different storytellers.
Yeah.
So I just think there's such a huge demand for content
Yeah.
that, we know just a lot of the little stuff getting made is just crap
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, they don't
now more than
terrible.
ever.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see,
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure
I really hope so.
the pendulum has to
You're
swing.
right.
I
back.
agree.
It has to
You
swing
know
back.
what I mean?
Totally
So
I also love, and we talk about this all the time, that those movies that we grew up on, I mean, even in Ferris Bueller,
right.
Ferris's standpoint, his viewpoint, some of those messages that he was talking about, and Cameron and his journey,
Of course.
and his despair, not having not having a vision of his future, whereas Ferris was the alpha and had his vision, and the dichotomy of those two. You, like, to your point, I never heard it put that way, but you're absolutely right. You watched those and you trusted and respected what these seniors in high school were saying.
You
It was
learn,
not.
you learn lessons from them.
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
it's true.
And it was transformational, and it was so cool because they didn't make movies, and I say this all the time, like, we grew up, and I'm so thankful that we did, even with Goonies and things, like, we didn't grow up with them making these movies like stupid for young people. We got to make this movie for these little kids that watch. These movies were just fabulous movies.
Families. That's
Yes.
the key. Family
Everybody could
entertainment.
watch. It was
Yeah.
not a kids movie. It was a family film, and it was brilliant. I mean, even like the first couple Home Alones, these are brilliant movies that actually had really amazing themes in them that they didn't underscore it by saying they're dumbed down for kids. Never, not once. And the stuff that I got out of it, being 12 years older than Andy, was different than what Andy got out of it.
Right.
And it was designed that way.
Yep.
And that's what I think the most brilliant family films do. That you take out of it the innuendos, the little things that are in there. The parents pick up on some things, the kids don't. It goes over their heads. The kids are, you know what I mean? I love movies like that. Those are my favorite
Well,
kind
my
of
brother,
movies.
did Boss Baby. So
Oh
that's
my
God.
so good.
Yeah.
That's a good
So good.
Great movie.
Great.
That's a
Great
perfect
movie.
example.
And the best animated films have always done that. I mean, the Toy Story
In
franchise,
fact, animated has lasted longer.
it has.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the heart and soul and the message in the
Absolutely.
movie, and like
Well,
that
Pixar
has,
in its prime.
And look at Inside Out too.
Well, Pixar in its
it's a
prime.
massive,
That's it.
massive
massive
smash of a movie.
And it was
know.
good, but Boss Baby was better than that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Then this.
I
Inside
didn't
Out
see
too?
Inside Out too. I just have been
I
reading
think
about
people
it.
were really desperate.
I think
for
they're
like
desperate.
for like an old school kind
Yeah.
of like movie, so they all went and supported that,
I
which I was
agree.
happy to see. But Pixar in its prime, dude, made
Dude, Wally.
oh my
Billions.
god,
Yeah.
I mean,
Billions,
and
billions.
made amazing movies.
Nemo.
I mean, the
Nemo, oh my
Nemo, the
God.
Incredibles. I mean, there was
Oh,
Not
amazing.
only that,
gosh.
but there was also the technology. You're forgetting they
Yeah.
own the intellectual property of the technology
they
of
did.
Pixar.
For sure.
The quality of that animation was new.
Yeah,
it
it
was a
was.
different form.
It was.
Remember
So
when the
true.
trailer came first?
Oh yeah, with the little
And they
light.
bugged you out with like
Yeah.
you'd never seen that.
The little
true. So true.
desk lamp.
Yeah.
And then they started
which we
to
all
do-
had on our desks.
Yeah.
Those are like the 80s.
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah,
with the retractable
classic.
arm?
Yeah.
They started to do the shorts too, the Pixar shorts.
Oh, those
in
are
front of the
great.
movies.
Right,
So-
right, right, right.
With the little animal, one of the was it a squirrel?
There
It
was
wasn't
so
really
many.
a squirrel, but it was like a little weird
There
animal
was
with
so
his
many.
nut.
Or the old guy playing chess with himself in the park.
Brilliant.
They kept cutting back and forth, and he was like,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
so
There was,
well
a,
done.
there was a level of
So well done.
sophistication where that's my point. They didn't like undercut it. They didn't sell the kids short by dumbing it down to make it attainable for the kids, right? They didn't worry about making it every 2 seconds something else happen because they really valued the fact that a young person can sit there and watch a scene unfold. It doesn't have to be a lot of the animation now. And, I've seen this transformation of animated, TV shows. And like when we grew up, it was Flintstones and it was the Jetsons.
Well, that was
and
hand drawn.
and it was, that's a big difference too.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. But it was also like there was Scooby Doo and the Looney Tunes and these amazing things. Now, literally, you cannot watch one of these
The
young
Flintstones.
Bluey,
which is
my 4-year-old granddaughter.
Everything.
I live it every day, dog.
I know.
Dude.
I know Bluey very well.
I don't even know what Bluey is, but I hear about it all the time because
Yeah.
everybody's talking about Bluey.
I'm getting a Bluey tattoo.
Oh yeah.
basically.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you
Bluey
ever-
is
you
massive.
see my see those umbrellas? It's pretty cool, right?
Oh,
Grandpa Shark, dude.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Very cool.
Grandpa Shark.
No way, dude.
We talk about it all the time. We are really in this very brackish period in the human experience, with this technological sort of convergence, and all this AI stuff and wanting AI to now think for you and write your papers and do your songs and wow, I don't know where it ends up going.
Lionsgate lost
that report.
$700 million this year and asked basically their employees to allow them to give them a severance pay, and is trying to go
It's
like
going to move into full on into AI.
Wow.
All AI.
What is it? Who?
Lionsgate. They lost like literally 700
every movie
million.
they released this year
Every
was
single
a
one was
major
a major flop. Like
Everyone.
all 15.
Well, that's because honestly, there are
crazy.
certain criteria to good films, and a lot of the people that are in positions to make the movies aren't following
There's also
that criteria.
there's no family. Like, why isn't Lionsgate making family films? Like, why aren't they expanding beyond?
I say I don't
just-
know if there are still great filmmakers out there, absolutely. But man, they're harder to come by these days. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like really good movies that you can enjoy. That's for sure. I feel like that. I feel like in the '80s, like it almost seemed like every weekend there was like a movie coming out that was good. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that anymore. We go through months where there's like
Oh, yeah. You're kind of
nothing really. Like I don't really want to
Isn't that
see
weird?
it. I don't
Yeah.
care.
It's so weird.
Well, listen, it'd be like if this is a dumb analogy, but it'll hopefully land the plane.
We're pretty dumb. So
Well-
that's perfect.
This is perfect for this.
Bravo.
Perfect for this space.
John 3:30. I must become less so that he can become. That's dumb. It's humility is a dumb thing in this world.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, the what were you just talking about? Sorry.
No, I was just talking about
Who knows? He won't
that the
keep
good
talking.
films. It seems to be much harder to come by. Whereas every weekend when we were kids
Oh, yeah, it's
growing up,
true,
there was
though.
a film that was
That's true.
and it was
The
original
dumb
content.
analogy. I recalled my dumb analogy. Thank you. I'm good at that. So it'd be like, you know how to play baseball?
Yeah.
Okay. So just imagine now if baseball was a different batter every pitch.
Mm.
That's the only thing that changed about the movie business.
Mm.
There's just so many balls now.
Mm.
There's so many movies being made by so many people.
Mm.
Guys, watch this. Name 5 distribution companies. Go.
Oh.
I mean, just the top tier ones.
Anything.
Yeah, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO.
Right.
I mean,
They're all streamers, by the way.
Keep going.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Streamers.
Streamers.
They're all streamers,
Streamers,
by
yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
You're making my point.
Yeah.
Name 5 more.
I couldn't.
Lionsgate.
Yeah.
MGM.
Paramount,
Yeah.
Universal.
They're all
Universal.
distribution
Yeah,
companies.
yeah.
Apple. I mean,
Yeah.
it goes on.
Yeah.
It goes on.
Yeah.
Fubu.
iTunes
Yeah.
is a
iTunes.
distribution within Apple.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apple
Totally.
TV.
Doesn't-
Yeah.
yeah. Freevee,
Yeah.
Tubi
There's
doesn't end.
so many
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
There's so
Wow.
many places for people to
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah, it's true.
Restaurants
Yeah.
of media.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
And
right.
consumption.
You're right. You don't go to the
Now,
theater because that's
It's
yeah.
like New York City, bro.
Yeah.
You go to New York City, there's
Wow.
any food
Yeah,
in
you're right.
the world you want in New York City.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Because it's that melting pot.
Mm.
Well, this is what digital's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
what digital's done. It's caused just such a virality of the feeding frenzy
Hmm.
Yeah.
that's now become streaming. Look, in the last month, bro, some of the biggest streaming companies in the world got sold. They're getting sold and they're shutting down because the subscription thing is going away because now subscriptions are given free because they're reinventing how they monetize, bro. It's not going to
100%.
stop.
Yeah.
So
It's true, especially when our socials and YouTubes are free.
Right.
That's the problem. How do you compete? As
well,
a
here's the wild.
distributor?
Here, listen. Video killed the radio star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lawrence Brothers podcast. Listen, and the Lawrence Brothers podcast is going to kill Hollywood
Mm.
because in the future, less people are going to the movies.
Yeah.
They're not watching as much. They are now designer gene creating what I want to watch the Lawrence Brothers podcast here. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's why you're seeing the diminishment of.
Mm.
That's why you just saw 15 movies from Lionsgate bomb.
Yeah.
Because people they're just getting their food somewhere else.
You're right.
Somewhere else.
It's weird.
It is weird. It's wild.
It's
Now,
weird.
if they would just get back to the Jerry Maguire,
It's true
I know.
though.
Well, that's
They're-
the thing. Go back to and
Make some
honestly,
good small movies
yeah,
that don't.
and original.
Yeah.
Like you think about all those movies that you mentioned, there was no there was no IP for Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles and
Yeah, I know.
and The Breakfast Club and
yeah.
like they weren't. John Hughes didn't go.
They were just cool.
Yeah, they were just good movies.
Friggin'
Yeah.
cool, man. You know where they came from? His mind.
Yeah.
Like the brilliant writers back in the golden age of Hollywood. They would just get brilliant writers in a room and go, "What can we come up with?"
But that's where
Let's come up with an idea.
But that's where the technology's creepy now.
yeah,
Because now somebody can go,
right,
these characters, da-da-da-da-da, this storyline,
right.
write it like John Hughes.
You're exactly right.
I know. It's
I know.
insane.
Thus
Yeah.
defeating the very purpose of what you're saying.
Wow.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's where it's
Because
going,
people are
unfortunately.
people.
Yep. Yep.
People know the real.
Yep. They
Yeah.
do.
Humanity's humanity.
Sure.
All
I agree with
this
that. Yep.
robots with Will Smith and, artificial this, that, and Elon with the thing in your head. And that's cool. Yeah, all those people can think whatever they want. Yeah. I get in trouble on my social media because I say the Lord is the Lord. You know what I mean? Y'all can think what you want about the power. All them satellites thinking they're cool, controlling people's minds. And right, that's cool. I got you. They think they're cool. But what don't you understand about the Almighty, son?
Yeah.
Almighty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Almighty, bro.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
true. No, it's
You're
it's
right.
very, very true. I mean,
Am I okay, James? Did I say too much again about the Almighty? I'm
James left. He left his son. He was fired.
James,
Said
I
you're
know.
fired.
Okay.
James, he said, I quit. Is what he. He threw his hat up in the air and left.
Yeah, James has known me too long to
Oh,
throw the hat now.
I know.
In too deep. That's
you know,
pretty cool.
I want to bring this up because it
You
was
just
it
playing with your
changed-
gum?
Yeah, it changed. I took it out because I knew I was going to
hell?
be speaking. It changed my
Saving it.
changed my life in a way, in an interesting way. A little movie, well, not a little movie, but a movie called Biodome.
Sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why it changed my life. I'm infatuated with greenhouses because I'm
He
infatuated
built
with
them.
animals.
There's a bunch of them on
and
the property.
reptiles.
We can show you. It's insane.
No,
he's nuts,
since that
bro.
movie,
Yeah.
Dude, he builds greenhouses.
the exact
It's-
opposite of
as
what
a
everyone
hobby.
else. I've wanted to build a 5-acre greenhouse
Yeah.
and live in it with my. That's my dream.
With you and Pauly Shore.
Exactly.
That's the
Really?
weird part. That's the strange. We're like, Matt, that's not going to happen.
but it's so true. That
I'd be there.
it literally
But
changed.
Pauly's too expensive. Pauly would charge you too much to live there.
God. Oh
He would charge.
Literally changed my life. Like from that point, I've been dreaming. And there's a place.
Well, there's
in,
so many. This was really unique just now because there's so many other things he could have taken away from Biodome.
No, I know.
Like
I know.
marijuana,
Sure. No.
good-looking gals.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
No.
He's like, gee whiz, it inspired me to build my own greenhouse.
It's-
that is
true.
true.
But that's
That is
Matt.
true.
That's awesome.
Matt.
That's
is-
true.
that
In
is
fact,
Matt.
there's a place
That's
in
Matt.
England called the Eden Project, which is it got me onto that, which is a
greenhouse,
gigantic 5-acre greenhouse where they did a psychology experiment because in England it's always cloudy, it's rain, and they move these people in there to see if being in a tropical warm environment where it was all farm to table and it was about community would change the psychology, and it did.
Okay, you
Big
guys
time.
should definitely produce
Dude.
like a docu-comedy
Mm.
where he has this vision to do like
my
some
God.
kind of a biodome.
It's actually
Yeah.
genius. Yeah.
And you guys like agree to help him knowing the whole time it's doomed to fail.
it's amazing.
great
And if he pulls
idea.
it off, we
What
gotta
do
we
you-
gotta live in
You know
it
what,
with
you
him
know
for
what's
a week.
crazy is that
Yeah.
Andy was just talking to me.
You guys should do it.
Wait
We
a minute.
should.
Andy had
Help
to
No,
us.
but
take,
raise like $100,000 and shoot.
Andy
All
had
right,
to take
all right.
for
We'll do that.
Biodome 2. He was just
No,
talking-
I was no, it doesn't. You guys should do a sequel.
Yes.
Well, they're working on it.
Okay, thank
Really?
goodness.
Are they?
Thank
Well,
goodness.
they've written a script.
Oh, that's
I would
great.
love
I think
that.
it's going to
Andy-
Mars.
Andy was
I think
just-
it's-
Andy
Andy
was
going to
saying-
Mars?
I think it's going to Mars.
Oh my God,
That would be amazing,
Brilliant,
dude.
I think, but we don't know yet.
Brilliant.
Dude,
Okay.
we don't know.
It's
I just was
it's
with
so
Pauly
time-
recently. I just did Pauly's podcast.
Dude.
Wow,
Nice.
that would
I
be so
survived that.
cool,
I
dude.
survived that.
Did you?
ever seen Pauly's podcast?
Yeah,
No,
it's
I never-
tough.
No, I haven't
It's a
seen it.
tough-
I haven't
it's
seen
a
it
tough
yet.
one.
Really? They survived.
Special.
Yeah.
But Pauly's Pauly. I just think he's the most
Hey,
fabulous.
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gnarly.
Yeah.
Pauly's
He
gnarly.
is.
Yeah.
He is.
But yeah, we're talking about
Good.
Biodome
I would
2.
That would
love
be
it.
so badass.
I just
do it,
don't
man.
know what the current status is. I think they're
Right.
trying to raise enough money to do it right.
Sure.
Of course.
Which
And
is
that's,
important.
That's the
Yeah.
key. If you're going to do it,
Do
you
it
got to
right.
do it right because there's going to be a lot of fans out there. that are gonna be-
Biodome
that'll
2
want that.
certainly will not be Jerry Maguire, ladies
No,
and gentlemen.
but you know what?
It'll be entertaining
I
and
think we can say
wonderful.
that right
It'll be
now.
entertaining, fun as hell, and if it's done right, man, it'll be good. You know,
It'll be funny.
It'll
Yeah,
be funny.
It'd be
Oh, yeah.
I would
and that's
love
what we
to
need
see
right
it.
now. We need to laugh. I feel like that.
But
I
like
love
we need to do
laughing.
like another safety dance kind of thing from the first one.
Yes.
And when we're in the dome doing it, like he has to do a cameo. He has to be like one of the lab coat kind of
Please,
doctors.
let me.
Yes.
I'm there.
Yes.
I'm there. I would love that.
Love
man.
it. Hey,
Absolutely.
speaking of, how great has this been?
It's been fun, man.
Having
Super
you in
cool,
the-
dude.
I
in the house with us.
I gotta just ask a little bit though. What
All
is
right,
it?
ask a
Just
question.
because what is it like? What's the age difference between your brothers and you? We didn't really talk about brother. I want to know
Okay.
more things. I want to know. Like,
We'll wrap up with
now
brothers.
Alec is 67
okay,
Okay.
with 7 kids under the age of 10.
that's
Wow.
he's a busy individual there.
He's gnarly.
Wow.
That's why we call him Lex Luthor.
My God.
And then Billy's
God.
Daniel's 65.
Wow.
Billy's 63, I think.
Unreal,
Goes
huh?
2-2-2 kind of down.
Yeah.
Then my sister Jane comes in between us, and then me, 58.
Wow. Man.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Almost 60, boys. Almost 60, Grandpa.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
Dude.
It's crazy.
What
man.
the hell?
That's amazing, man.
I can't even believe that, like, I can't believe, it's weird because I can't believe that, like, Billy is in his 60s. Because Billy,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
Billy was always like,
Yeah.
I mean, Billy was always seemed like, even though you were the youngest, you had a certain maturity about you. Billy always seemed
Yeah,
to me
it's
like
true.
he was like, just, I don't know, less mature or
He
something.
was a little
like,
rowdy.
Yes.
He was a little rowdy.
You were always so much more, even though you were the youngest, you always seemed more mature and like balanced.
I never
I think
put
it's
you
never
as the
put you as the
youngest.
youngest,
Yeah, sure.
ever.
Yeah, I was the
Ever.
youngest.
I know, but
Yeah.
I never put you as
That's
the
what
But I
youngest.
was the smallest too, so I couldn't really start as much trouble.
Right.
There's a great headline. You
No,
can
Billy's tall.
They're big dude. Some of your
6'2.5".
yeah, some of your
Billy's
guys are pretty
6'2.5".
big
Yeah,
dudes.
he's a
Yeah.
big guy.
Wow.
So he went to a ball game at Madison Square Garden 30 years ago with my brother Alec, and this guy mouthed off to my brother Alec and threw a beer on him.
Wow.
Mm.
Nice.
So, security came and brought everybody, to an area, where they were trying to get control of the situation. And my brother Billy, I'll keep it simple, just taught this guy a lesson.
Okay.
But like
Awesome.
in a kind of a gnarly, we were wrestlers growing up. So
Nice.
Billy the headline the next day of the New York Post was Baldwin's Brawl at the Garden.
Oh my gosh, that's
And,
awesome. We got to get one of those.
Oh,
Lawrence
no.
Brawl.
You've inspired us. No, like in all the wrong
At
ways.
the
Yeah. We just go rogue.
crypto.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's called brotherly love.
there you
fellas.
go.
It's
There
called
you go.
brotherly love,
That'd be awesome.
guys.
That'd be so cool. Wow.
It's
I can't.
so cool,
Time
man.
goes so quick, doesn't it, man?
Yeah,
Goes
man.
so fast, dude.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Here
So-
comes the next
Did you guys get-
generation.
Do you guys ever get into like a big brawl as brothers?
Bro, are you kidding?
Yeah, we did a couple times. Times. Man.
You guys, I'm sure, were no Alec and Daniel. My brother
those two
Daniel
guys.
Oh wow.
was a
yeah.
football player. Daniel was 6'1", 275.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Well, my dad was a football coach. So we grew up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. My dad was a football coach.
Wow. Cool.
Ex-Marine. And,
Oh, wow.
we grew up just 4 dumb jocks that
Wow.
were competitive.
Okay.
And then Billy started modeling for Calvin Klein, and Alec was working as an actor, and the rest of
Wow.
us were like, how much did he get paid?
Nice. That's good. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, no, but my dad was a school teacher. My dad made
Right.
like 28 grand
Yeah,
a
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Alec, in his first, he did a soap opera called The Doctors. He was making like 150 grand in his first season. So my father was like,
What? I know.
"Thespian,
boys,
what a
boys.
great idea.
Boys,
I
you
know.
could all do this, right?
Boys, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's similar with us. My mom's a school teacher. My dad sells insurance. So
Yeah.
Same with us. I mean,
They were like, you should.
yeah, we
Going
our
to
first
Hollywood,
role. They were the same
kids.
thing. They were like, hey, maybe this will work. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That's wild.
And they're stoked ever since.
Yeah, man.
So wild.
Yeah.
I know. That's really something, dude. I love it, man.
So cool.
I love seeing the connective tissue too. Like, there's you guys are all your own individuals, but there's a little connective tissue that each one of
Totally.
you guys share.
I,
You can
I see
I
it.
heard you do an impression of your brother. It was insane.
Who, Alec?
Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Lex.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I am God. He gets that. Well, here's the deal.
He does. Listen, he's more of a voice actor too.
yes,
he's done
for
a
sure.
lot of voice stuff. Like
Yes.
if you watch Glenn
Oh
Ross,
my gosh.
that's a good one.
I studied that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
we
so
did. We have
So
seen
good.
that. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it is.
He was even great. I mean, even in what's it?
We did say that. We said that in
film school.
Film school.
Yeah. But what was it?
Amazing.
The one with the Nancy Myers movie that he did. It's complicated.
Very good.
Oh my
Very
God,
good
was he
movie.
so good in that?
Very
oh
Very
my God.
funny.
Yeah.
Again, has an amazing ability to be very funny
Right.
but very grounded. I
Very
love that his
grounded.
characters
Nancy
don't-
Myers.
Oh,
Great story.
I-
great
great
script.
I am a,
Great.
first of all, she's from
Great
Philadelphia,
movie.
Pennsylvania. I am a huge Nancy Myers fan.
Yeah,
I
she's
think
awesome.
she makes tremendous original content.
She does.
Tremendous. I look forward to her. I wish she would make more movies. I know she's making one now, but I literally long for her films. I don't think she's made enough, and maybe that's a testament to her, which is why they're always so good because she takes her time and makes each one really
Probably.
special. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm a big fan, and I just feel like I love when people can be funny, but they don't know they're funny. Like the characters are funny, but don't know they're funny. That's really hard to do.
That's a key.
But that's the key.
That's the key. That's
Yeah.
that's a great performance.
great
It
writing.
is great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Great writing. Yeah.
Great
for sure.
writing.
Great writing.
Yes, that's the key. So, anyway, well, everybody, this is a fast hour, and
Very
so
fast.
Can't
I
believe
feel like we'd go for another.
I
we
know.
can. What
I
an
know.
honor it was
Dude,
to have
dude.
Stephen Baldwin with us
I
this
can't
week.
believe it.
It's so cool
truly,
to have
man,
you
you're
here,
a
man.
legend.
Thank you.
You
Um,
really are, man.
You know, we're so happy
As
to,
you are too.
Oh, well.
in our own minds, anyway.
just trying
but,
to- yeah.
you know, right here we are.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Well, bless you guys. Bless the podcast.
Yes, thank
so
you so
much,
much,
man.
man. Bless you and your
Enjoy.
podcast. We're going to be joining you on.
Be smart.
Yes,
Yes.
we will. Well,
Eyes,
Try to do it.
eyes on the sky. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yep.
on your girl. All
That's
right.
it. Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Agree
On
more.
my girls. On my girls. On my three
Your
daughters.
On your girls. That joke's got
Oh,
a
yeah,
hole.
for sure.
Well, thank you guys. This
Yo,
has been
appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
dude.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, buddy.
God bless everybody. Enjoy your weekend. We will
Yes.
see you next Friday right here on the Brotherly Love Pod. Until next time. Bye, guys. Hey, what's up, everybody? The Lawrence brothers are here. Thank you so much for enjoying this week's episode of the Brotherly Love Pod.
And if you want more of this show, check out our premium feed on Supercast.
That's right, where you'll see ad-free episodes, monthly AMAs, behind-the-scene content, and so much more.
That's brotherlylove.supercast.com to join.
Check out our link tree and subscribe on all platforms.
We'll see you all
Next week!